ستيفان سايزر، قس بريطاني صديق حميم للعرب وفلسطين، يرى في إسرائيل دولة مغتصبة للحق الفلسطيني، كما أنه يستنكر على إسرائيل فكرتهم شعب الله المختار، ويرى في الصهيونية تماثلاً مع النازية.
Reverend, you're here, you're British, and you're defending a lot of Arab cause. Can you tell me, to start with, why?
Many of my friends are from Palestine. I visited about 20 years ago. It had a profound impact on me. I went to visit the land, see where Jesus lived, enhance my understanding of the scriptures. When I got there, I discovered it was a war zone. The Palestinians were the bad guys. Israel was little David against Goliath. But as I met local Palestinian Christians, I realized they had a story and that they were suffering because of our involvement in the Middle East, historically Britain and more recently American involvement. And that burdened me when I realized that my faith, my people group was causing suffering to the Palestinians, and that was the ripple effect was impacting Lebanon, Syria, Egypt and Jordan and so on. And so I began to dialogue with Christians in Palestine, and then I met some from Lebanon and Syria, and began to speak out on the subject. That created an awful lot of hostility from the Zionist individuals and groups. And you have a choice. When someone attacks you, you can either step back, you're intimidated, or it refines your arguments. It convinces you you're onto something.
And that's what you did?
Over the years, I've written stuff, been criticized for it, and that's merely helped me improve my arguments.
All right. You mentioned Zionist, and you have a book, many books, talking about Christian Zionist and that idiom. What do you think their target is? Who are they?
Well, Zionism is a Jewish movement. There are 12 million Jews in the world, but Christian Zionism both preceded Jewish Zionism by at least 50 years, and is probably 10 times larger in terms of numerical size and significance. 50, 60 million Christians, particularly in America, South Africa, Britain and other countries, believe that it's their destiny, their God-given destiny, to help defend Israel from its enemies. And they believe that God is blessing their countries because they support Israel.
Now, when an Arab thinks like that, definitely would say he's a conspiracy theory lover. It's strange to find someone here having that thought.
Well, you have to ask yourself why you will not find a single serving US politician critical of Israel. In Britain, we have three main political parties. I know Jewish politicians, Arab politicians in the Conservative Party, Labour Party. They speak their mind freely in Parliament. If they criticize Israel, they will do so. And that's healthy. A good friend will tell you when you're doing something wrong. So why can't you find a single politician in America critical of Israel?
Now, the Arab community in London, in the West in general, but in London in particular, some of them has blended into the society, some did not. Why do you think, like, how do you look at them from a Western perspective?
The same way I look at the Jewish community. Britain has been a home for refugees for at least 100 years. We have large immigrant communities, some economic migrants and some political. And so waves of refugees have come through Britain over the years. There's a Jewish community, an Arab community, although I differentiate that in different national communities. Some have integrated and married or moved into areas of society where they have taken on British citizenship, and they have been successful in their careers and in their lifestyle. Those that have been driven by national or religious values, be it the Orthodox Jews or Islamists particularly, have tended to keep within their faith communities, and they are often distinguished by their dress. They perhaps haven't taken as much trouble to learn English or or integrate into society, and that creates tensions. When there is a tension, for example, in Palestine, it's played out in London between the Zionists and the Islamists. So you get tensions where people fail to fully integrate into a society. In 2017 we will be marking the Balfour centenary, so I'm part of a group of Christian and political leaders looking at how we should acknowledge where Britain went wrong in 1917 and subsequently, and the responsibility we bear for that. That's the first thing we've got to do. Unless we learn from history, we'll repeat it.
I'm going to tell you the name of a country, and you just tell me the first word you have it. Syria.
It's hard. Syria, until last year, was the safest place for Christians in the Middle East. The rights of Christians were respected better than any other country in the Middle East, I would argue. Now it's one of the most dangerous places.
Iran.
Stability, but with fear.
Egypt.
Hope.
Hope. That's interesting. Right. Iraq.
Hope as well. I hope that Iraq is on the up now from where it was. You know, we made terrible mistakes. The West, we had no exit strategy. We had no plan for the reconstruction of Iraq.
Lebanon.
Sadness. Hope for the future, but sadness for where it is at the moment.
Palestine.
Justice. Palestine is very close to my heart, and I believe that in my lifetime we will see an independent, sovereign, contiguous Palestinian state. It will either be on the 67 borders, which is the minimum, or we will see the end of Zionism and a multi-faith.
You're saying end of Israel?
I believe that Israel is the most dangerous country in the Middle East, and it is the most vulnerable country in the Middle East. Whenever there is tension on the borders, whenever there's conflict in Lebanon or in Syria, there are more Israelis leaving the country than moving into the country.
Thank you so much, Reverend. It's been great pleasure to see things we know, but through your eyes.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.